Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Karen. As you guys know, well, if you follow me, I graduated nursing school. I am done for now. I haven't taken my NCLEX yet, but I will let you guys know when that happens. Supposedly there's like a delay with New York State, so I'm technically on a waiting list, but once I get clearance, I'll be able to take that. Now with graduation, I told you guys I would probably have some video up, but I haven't found any footage yet. My mom only had one job. She was in charge of that, and God knows whether she did that or not. But if I do find some footage, I'll try and squeeze that in here. So yeah, be patient with me, guys. I do have a couple of pictures, so I'll probably just put that like in here somewhere. But nothing crazy. I kind of just wanted to get through it and go about my day. So that really wasn't like my primary concern. I just wanted to graduate. But yeah, let's get right into the video. So yeah, I'm gonna catch you guys up to speed. So I graduated. The week of graduation, we actually had our NCLEX prep. This was set up through ATI, and if you guys are not familiar with ATI, I will talk about that towards the end of this video. And the week before that, we actually had our exit exam. That was also on ATI. It was about 150 to 180 questions, which was also technically our NCLEX predictor, like how well you do on the NCLEX. And yeah, you needed at least a 70. The first time I took it, I didn't do so hot. The second time I caught up, but it was a hard exam, and there was a couple of drugs on there that I didn't see before. And I don't know if everybody's test was set up the same. I know the second time for me, it was a lot of labs, so there's probably different variations of it, so definitely know your labs. Now I'm gonna jump into what happened third quarter and what almost kept me from graduating. Now the previous class, the ones that graduated ahead of us, they were telling us like, look, third quarter is easy, like all you got is like, you know, projects and papers and whatnot. There's nothing to really stress about. Third quarter was so overwhelming for all of us. We were just burnt out. Me coming home, having to study, and I also have a child at home, so I'm coming home to a second job. It's just a lot. And I know I shouldn't be complaining about long clinicals because in reality, this is what we're going to be dealing with. But I can attest at one of my facilities, I was just so bored. Like I was just like, why are we here? I finished my assignments. There's only but so much you could do in clinicals, by the way, and I would even offer help to staff members, CNAs, nurses, whoever I saw. Like, look, you need help, you're just walking around, and I hate that feeling. It wasn't like that at every clinical, but this one in particular, I was just like, okay, I need to go home. Like there's things I could be doing, I could be studying, I have a paper to do, I have projects, and we all felt that way, and it was just terrible. But yeah, I was just overwhelmed third quarter. And on top of the clinicals, we had 4 classes. So Med Surg 2, Community Health, Leadership, and we also had OB Pediatrics, which was a lot in itself. And I found myself studying a lot more for that class than Med Surg. So I think that's where all my energy went. And just trying to keep up with everything with that class, I was kind of like falling behind with Med Surg. So just to jump into it, our very first test for Med Surg 2, this was on neurological disorders. We as a class did not do so great on that exam. I think all of us actually failed that exam, and our instructor was like, what the heck is going on with you guys? Like, you guys know this stuff, you should not be struggling with this. But I don't know, for the test we all thought we did okay, and then we got our test grades and we all failed. The second exam, I'm not quite sure what it was on, but I passed that exam. I think I got like an 85. And the third exam, I failed. Now, with our program, if you fail 3 exams, you actually have to repeat the class over. Now, with Med Surg, not only do you have to repeat the lecture, you have to repeat all the clinicals for that term. So all that time that you put in, you have to repeat, which is crazy to me, but I get it. It's policy, and it's technically Med Surg clinicals, so you have to go through it all again. I ended up failing another exam. So now that's 3 exams, guys. 3 exams, and I didn't fail by much. Literally, those 3 exams, I failed by 2 points. It's crazy. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what is going on with me? Now, before I end up failing that 3rd exam, in between, I'm thinking to myself, like, should I talk to my professor? You know, should I bring up my concerns? You know, now I'm on edge. The pressure is on because I failed 2 exams. Then my pride is kicking in, like, Karen, you got this. You could pull through. We only have a couple exams left. You're not going to fail another. I failed another exam. I'm crying to myself. I'm starting to second guess, like, is this for me? Am I even competent to be a nurse? I feel dumb. Like, I'm gonna be so honest. I felt like I'm putting all this work in and I'm studying it, and it's just not reflecting in my grades. Why am I doing so poorly on my exams? I know it, but I guess I don't. So once I found out my grade for that third exam and I found out that I failed, I marched my behind straight to my instructor's office. On the way there, I ended up bumping into my instructor, and he's like, yo. And I'm like, hi, like, I really need to talk to you. Like, this is serious. I'm flustered and I'm just trying to get the words out. And he's like, listen, I know you have concerns. Send me an email. We'll set up a date that we could talk. So fast forward, I have my meeting with my professor. We go over literally every exam that I took just to point out the questions that I got wrong, see why I chose the answers that I chose, and go over the correct answers as well as the rationale. He's picking my brain and he's telling me, you have the knowledge, but you're just struggling trying to apply it. So I'm thinking to myself, like, crap, you know, is this it? Like, what can I do? So I end up remediating with him. And he goes, listen, from this point on, you need to start practicing NCLEX style questions. Now, I know with me, I have a lot of anxiety, and it was apparent all throughout nursing school, but it was even worse in third quarter. Because like I said, I failed 2 exams and the pressure was on. And now I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, this is do or die. Like, I need to pull myself together. As we're going over the test, I'm looking at the questions and I'm like, I didn't even take my time reading it, or I'm analyzing it too deeply, because the keywords are right there and it's just giving the answer away. And if you guys have been through it, or you're in it, you're in nursing school, you know these NCLEX style questions where all the answers are right there, but you know there's only one correct answer. And I'll share with you guys a couple of questions at the end of this video just to give you guys a glimpse of what you could be walking yourself into and how easy it is just to miss an answer. But yeah, back to what I was saying. So we're going over the questions and he's like, listen, every time I get your test, you end up having the right answer and then you cross it out and you put the wrong answer. Pick and stick. Literally, pick and stick. Don't second guess yourself. And it's like, while you're in nursing school, you have that intuition where you look at the question, you know the answer is there, it's the right answer, and just leave it alone. And do this without any instant gratification of having the answers there. And you have to build up that confidence. While you're studying, also practice questions from the workbook, but do it without your textbook. You want to build up that confidence so that way when you take your exams, again, you pick and stick, you don't doubt yourself. And that was my struggle in third quarter. I just was second guessing every little thing. You would see my test and it'll be marks throughout everything, and I would have the answer there, but I don't know, I was doubting myself. So from that very day, I ended up going to Barnes & Noble's and I picked up the Saunders book. And at the same time, he advised me to download the NCLEX PM Mastery app. I think that's what it's called. And I've been paying about $20 a month for it. But it's really helpful and it goes over a lot of questions and it kind of just breaks everything down for you. So yeah, guys, that was a scare and I was able to pull a 180. I went home and I just made a couple adjustments. Definitely take your time while you're answering these questions on your exams. I have a tendency to just breeze through it sometimes because I feel overconfident, but I'm not taking the time in reading the question. Also, like I stated, while you're doing practice questions, don't have your textbook next to you. You don't want to have that gratification of knowing whether that's the right answer or not. And I would do that. I would have my workbook open and then I'll make sure I have the answer key there or the textbook there. You don't build up that confidence that way. Do not cram your studies, guys. Give yourself brain breaks because there's only but so much that your brain is willing to take. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys and say that there wasn't times that I was cramming back to back, but it hurt me in the end. There was some times that I was studying even the morning of my exam, and it's just like, why are you doing this to yourself? Now you're doubting yourself. Now you're second guessing everything. And you did the studying, so just leave it alone. You studied over a period of time. Leave it alone. You retain the information a whole lot better if you give yourself breaks. But yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much it of what I wanted to talk about in this video. I'm going to share a couple of questions with you guys, show you what ATI looks like, and I think that's pretty much it. Like, that's a wrap for this video. So yeah, let's get right into those questions. Alright guys, let's jump into these med surg style questions. So the first question is, what would the nurse stress to the 17-year-old girl who has been prescribed Accutane for her acne? The options below are A, avoid alcoholic beverages, B, drink at least 1,000 ml of fluid daily, C, use dependable birth control to avoid pregnancy, or D, avoid exposure to the sun. Alright guys, so let's go over the answers. Before I go over the answers though, I just want to break down the question, show you the keywords as I highlighted here. So what would the nurse stress? That's something that the nurse needs to address that is crucial to specifically a 17-year-old girl. So why in this specific question would they put a female? As you're going through the answers, you want to see what pertains to that female. If it was just 17-year-old client, then okay, but in this specific question, they have a girl. So as you're going through the answers, you have number one, well, A in this matter, avoid alcoholic beverages. Now, in any case, in general, you want to avoid alcohol as it has interactions with many drugs and can increase toxicity. But being 17 years old, we would hope that this client isn't drinking as the legal age is 21. So we'll skip that one. B, drink at least 1,000 ml of fluid daily. You definitely want to encourage at least 8 glasses of water to stay hydrated while you're on this medication. Now, before we jump to C, which is obviously the correct answer, in this case, I actually chose D, and this was a question on one of my exams. Avoid exposure to the sun. Now, although you're actually susceptible to rashes, you can get sunburn while you're on this medication because your skin is actually sensitive. You don't need to necessarily avoid exposure to the sun. And I guess that's where I got tripped up, because I'm thinking to myself, like, yeah, you definitely want to avoid the sun. But I mean, honestly, you could just wear skin protectant, sunscreen. So in this case, C would be the best answer. And as a 17-year-old girl, and that's the key word here, at this age, we would probably assume that she is sexually active. So this is definitely important to stress, as this can endanger a growing fetus, causing a number of defects. All right, guys, so here is the second and last question of this video, because I really didn't want to drag this video out, but I just wanted to help you guys, just show you a couple examples. So 2 weeks after a severe burn of over 20% of the body, the patient vomits bright red blood. Which condition is most likely? A, curling ulcer. B, paralytic ileus. C, hypoglycemia, perforation of the stomach by the NG tube. Or D, gastritis. And if you guys are not familiar with what an ulcer is, it's a deep sore in a lining of the stomach, which can be caused by gastritis left untreated. And that also causes a lot of pain, inflammation, as well as bleeding. That's why I chose gastritis as the answer. Initially, when I looked at my exam, I thought that, and I'm thinking, hey, we have a burn to the body. The body's being exposed to infection. So I'm going to just choose that as my answer, totally ignoring the fact that it states here, vomits bright red blood. So something like that, you just need to be careful. And that's why I'm stressing to you guys, take your time while you're taking your exams. But yeah, guys, I'm hoping that you enjoyed this little segment. As I stated before, I didn't want to drag this out, so that's why I left it to 2 questions. But these were questions that I ran into problems with while I was in nursing school. So I'm hoping that this helped you guys out, whoever needed it. And yeah, let's jump right into ATI real quick. All right, guys, so here I am. I'm logging into ATI, and I'm going to try and keep this as brief as possible because I don't want any copyright issues. So I'm logging in right now, and I am on the home screen, the learning screen, where there is skill modules that you will actually go through when you start foundations. I'm just showing you the little modules that you can choose from. I'm going to go into skill modules right now. So here's a list of different skill modules that you'll go through. They're literally lessons, and they serve as supplements for your learning experience while you're in class. So when you go home after a lecture, you can kind of just learn everything right through ATI, and it kind of just sticks because you get a visual. And I'll show you guys what one of those looks like. I think I'm going to choose physical assessment of an adult. So this is what it looks like when you open it up, the terminology. You just run through everything because it counts towards the percentage of completing it. And guys, you can always access these skill modules even after you've completed them. And we also have our evidence-based practice questions where they give you scenarios. You kind of just go through them, as well as the practice challenges that you need to answer. And they give you the rationale. And I'm going to answer this one. And I got it correct. And as you can see, they give you the rationales. And I'm going to show you guys, there's a test module where you can go through different assessments and you complete these, and at the end you can do focus reviews, which is what I'm showing you right now. So you could just see what you got wrong, what your weak points are, what your strong points are, and you could just do a review for that to help you with your NCLEX.